The Lakers have found their secret weapon. As following a big win against the Pelicans the other night, there is one player who stood above the rest, and then everyone is speaking out about. Fans are clamoring for this. We're going to break it down and discuss exactly who that player is, what the secret weapon is, as well as break down some comments from JJ Redick surrounding his playoff plans. We're going to break that down and discuss much more, as well as break down a few other updates ahead of what's going to be a crazy next couple of weeks. The Lakers season comes to a close and the playoffs are just around the corner. Stay tuned for all that in this episode, folks. But before we get into it, if you're part of the 90% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been absolutely unbelievable. We are approaching playoff time. We're going to keep you up to date with all the latest news. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakers have a secret weapon. And the reason I say secret, you saw it there in the intro video, it is Dalton Knecht. But the reason that he is a secret weapon, we'll dive into right now. So I honestly want to start with this. Obviously, we know that Dalton Knecht had a fantastic game against the Pelicans the other night. He had played 20 minutes, 12 points, 1 rebound. He's a secret weapon in the playoffs. And that's what I want to talk about today, because everybody is clamoring for one specific thing, because JJ Redick throughout the season has been very on and off, specifically with Dalton Knecht's minutes off of the bench this year. You can see this here. We're going to dive into a ton of different things, but see this here from Legendary. I don't think the Lakers will do well in the postseason if they don't increase Dalton Knecht's minutes, in his opinion. And this is something that is very prominent among Lakers fans, and everyone's really speaking out about it, is the lack of minutes that JJ Redick has been giving Dalton Knecht this season. And obviously, we can think back to when he was traded for Mark Williams. The trade deadline, the trade got rescinded. It's been a little bit weird. It's been an adjustment period for Williams. But now we're at the point where you're past that. We are entering playoff mode. And for this team to do well in the playoffs, you're going to need a few different things. You're going to need Luka Doncic, LeBron James to be healthy and playing good ball, which is a little bit scary because Luka's been very bad as of late for Luka's standard, very inefficient at the very least. And B, you need Dalton Knecht and your bench unit to actually score the ball and help relieve some of the pressure off of those guys. And JJ Redick came out and actually said some very interesting things that I want to cover today. So JJ Redick is honest about Dalton Knecht's minutes after the Lakers-Pelicans game, and he basically said, "We haven't given up on Dalton. We feel like he can help us win a game in the playoffs." And this is where the secret weapon comes into play, because yes, we all know Dalton Knecht is very good, especially Lakers fans like us, like diehard Lakers fans or casual Lakers fans who watch the team and know what Dalton Knecht is capable of. But other teams around the NBA aren't really as privy to seeing how good Dalton Knecht can be. And we saw it yesterday. He scored 8 straight points. He has the opportunity and the ability, hopefully the opportunity, but the ability in the postseason to be a guy, and we'll dive into the bench a little bit here, who comes off of the bench and just immediately provides instant offense. And that is something the Lakers have lacked in general over the past, few postseason runs, over the past half decade. Of course, they won the chip there in the bubble. But regardless of that, in 2020, 2021, this team needs Dalton Knecht. And JJ Redick has realized that. And he said, we feel like he can help us win a game in the playoffs. He's spoken out on the lack of minutes and how, since the trade deadline, he's been in and out of the rotation. There's games where he does really well. There's games where his defense is lackluster. And he came out and spoke out about something interesting about how he is a fan favorite, all these different things. As the Knecht trade unfolded, it somewhat made him a fan favorite. He says, cool, I'm a fan favorite, so when I step on the court, I try to put on a show for them. And he has looked extremely confident since returning. Obviously, returning to the team, it was a little bit weird there for a week or two, but ever since then, he's been absolutely, very solid at times. Dalton Knecht is who Dalton Knecht is. He's going to be a streaky shooter, and if he can provide adequate defense, he can be a huge secret weapon for the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs. And you see people on Twitter going all over the place. This was before the Pelicans game. You think about after the Pelicans game, Knecht showed growth and was playing very well. Not sure why he was taken out of the rotation. And that's the thing I want to speak about today. And I'm very curious. Let me know down below right now in the comment section if you're watching. Of course you're watching, but let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are. Do you think, A, JJ Redick has handled Dalton Knecht properly this year? And B, do you think he's going to should he get more minutes? Because we're at the point now where the Lakers specifically are fighting for the seeding. We'll dive into that a little bit later in the video. But they're going to need someone off of the bench to step up in the playoffs. Vando has not been playing well. We have, of course, Luka struggling a little bit. LeBron, Rui still recovering from the injury. He's on and off. He's had some good games, had some bad games. It is going to get very scary very quickly for this bench if you don't have somebody step up. Obviously, we've converted Jordan Goodwin, all these different things. Dalton Knecht has that ability. We saw it yesterday against the Pelicans. He can make a huge impact on the team simply by his floor spacing. He also fits perfectly next to Luka Doncic because he's able to stretch the floor and even grab, the occasional rebound. But regardless of that, if he can be fine defensively, just, stable, then the team, they can play him. And that's obviously been the biggest issue with Dalton Knecht. There's games where he's playing really good defense. There's games where he's playing really poor defense. And that's the problem, is the inconsistency. And also, of course, not just the inconsistency, but also the, lack of stability that this rotation has kind of had, whether it be him getting traded, all these different things. And I'm curious to see what you guys all think about it, because as you look at now, specifically the depth chart, their starting lineup is set in stone. Whether it be Luka, Reaves, Rui, and Dorian switch on and out, on and off, in and out. LeBron, Jackson, Hayes. That 5 or 6 is locked in. Let's say, for sake of argument, Rui starting or Dorian Finney-Smith starting, whoever else on the bench. Your 7th, 8th, 9 guys, and obviously in the playoffs rotation, 6, 7 guys, 8 guys. You still need somebody off the bench to be able to score the basketball. And Vando hasn't been able to do that. Goodwin, that's not really what he does. Goodwin is a rebounding guard, a really solid point of attack defender who can shoot the ball occasionally. Dalton Knecht is that guy. Obviously, Gabe Vincent as well. But Dalton Knecht is a guy that you can sub in if your team is struggling on offense. If the opposing team's running a zone, you need someone to be able to break that zone and shoot the ball. I guarantee you, against any team, whether they're running a zone, whether they're running a box and one, trap, whatever they're doing, specifically against Luka Doncic. And obviously, a box and one's not going to work on Luka Doncic because he's so good. And of course, you have LeBron James. But regardless of that, you need to be able, and Luka will find Dalton Knecht. And that's why he's been playing much better since the Luka trade, which is a funny thing. And again, his stats don't necessarily, show it as much. He's been on and off with the in and out of the rotation. This could be their secret weapon going forward. They need somebody off the bench who can provide that scoring, and maybe it'll be Dalton Knecht. I hope it will be. Fans are clamoring for it. Everyone's speaking out about it. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. At the end of the day, folks, Dalton Knecht has the opportunity here if JJ Redick gives it to him, and it seems like he will. JJ agrees. This is their secret weapon in the playoffs. And if they don't go out and at least give them a chance, you only have a handful of games left in the season. You may as well go out there and try it. Obviously, each game matters. He won them the game. Well, he was one of the reasons they won the game against the Pelicans there. And of course, he showed growth. So I don't know why necessarily JJ's taking him out of the rotation. He obviously likes Vando a lot. He likes Jordan Goodwin, those guys. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And of course, Gabe Vincent. But a couple other things here before we wrap up. Now, this is going to get interesting. I want to dive into the standings a little bit because these are the standings as of time of recording. The Lakers are holding on to that 3 seed with the Nuggets a half game behind. They're not going to catch the Rockets in the 2 seed. So it's going to either be the 3 seed or the 4 seed. Now, the 4 seed is what you want to avoid. It would be you most likely play the Golden State Warriors. Though you look at the Memphis Grizzlies, like this is the tightest Western Conference we've seen in a very long time. But regardless of that, the play-in spot is just a game and a half back. Like this has gotten unbelievably ridiculous. Of course, the Lakers have played 77 games. It is going to be an absolutely crazy end of the year. Now, obviously, there's 5 games left in the season, right? 5 games left. You need to avoid the play-in spot at all costs. That has gotten a lot closer. You have the Clippers, you have the Timberwolves. Tonight was not, great for the Lakers as it pertains to the actual, standings. Grizzlies won and Timberwolves won. So by 1 half game closer to the Lakers because they didn't play tonight. It is going to be crazy. The Lakers need to take care of business the rest of the way, and that's why these games matter an extreme amount. You cannot get in the playoff game. But ladies and gentlemen, the Lakers are only a game and a half ahead. But that'll wrap it up. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Crazy updates. It is the time of year where things are really starting to escalate. So we're going to keep you up to date with all the latest news. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.